今天是2025年10月17号。文化板块的话，就是说音乐剧《悲惨世界》何以风靡全球40年，经久不衰。Les Misérables at 40s, the unlikely story of a hit. The day after Les Misérables premiered at London's Barbican Theatre 40 years ago this week, its creative team gathered for a party to toast a successful debate, complete with bottles of champagne adorned with special Les Misérables labels. But the celebration quickly turned into a wake, recalled John Carrier, who directed the production with Trevor Nunn as attendees read that day's newspaper. It was clear that the musical had no won over Britain theatre critic. The Evening Standard dismissed it as a group opera, more suited to Victorian times than 1980s Britain. The Daily Mail lamented that Carrier and Lamb has transformed the tidal wave of emotions in Victor Hugo's novel into raper or cheap sentiment. It was the grams, the review added. Adding to the pressure, Cameron McIntosh, the show's lead producer, had just 48 hours to decide whether to pay for a rest and transfer. If he didn't, the musical would vanish after just a few weeks when it ended its Barbican run. Fortunately for the team, the critics did not have the final say. The word of mouth around the show was astonishing. Carrier recalls in a recent interview at his home in the Highgate neighborhood of London, the Barbican had to quickly expand its box office team to field phone calls from theater goers seeking tickets. It was through a few days of worry, Carol said, then it became apparent this scene was unstoppable. Today, Les Misérables, the story of Jean Valjean, a farmer convinced, meaning relentlessly persuaded by Gerard's unforgiving police office, is an icon of musical theater. It has run for over 15,500 performances in London and is a staple of school theater programs in the United States. On Wednesday, the musical's producer announced that an aerial conquer vision of the show would make its North American debut at Radio City Music Hall in New York next year from July 23 to August 2. It's also been translated in 22 languages and staged in 50 city countries. Next month's productions are set to open Madrid and Shanghai. The idea of turning Victor Hugo's sweeping 1,400-page novel about poverty and social upheaval in 19th century France into a musical was actually that of two Frenchmen, the composer Claude Magical Stropers and the lyricist Alan Bullitt, who, inspired by British and American show, created Les Misérables in 1980 and staged it in Paris. About 3 years later, Mackintosh heard a cast recording and, blown away by the music, decided to bring it to London. Carol similarly recalled being completely captured by the theatricality and emotion of the songs, particularly what become On My Own and I Dream a Dream. Still, Carol said the creative team no longer knew the French musical needed an overhaul. It was little more than a series of tableaus and required audience to know Hugo's book is inside out. So Kyle, Chien and Bouvier, along with James Felton, a point, was soon reading Hugo's tone and trying to work out new structure. Eventually decided to open the musical with a science in which Jean Valjean steal silver candlesticks from a beach shop, only for Prelate to forgive him. Suddenly, Kyle said the character's motivations were clear. Valjean believed in the New Testament idea of forgiveness, while Javert, his pursuer, adhered to the sterner Old Testament form of justice. As a bunch of devout humanists, we had tried to avoid every motion of religions, Cat said, but showing God into the show was animated the characters. Even with such breakthrough, progress was slow first. Forten, a perfectionist, took so long to write the libretto that Mackintosh had to delay the musical's planned opening by a year. According to Edward Beale, the complete book of the Les Misérables eventually harbored commerce liabilities and criticized for the Daily Mail took over. Calder said the team had continually changed the musical in rehearsal. One Friday, just weeks before opening, for instance, they decided that the actors come Wilkinson, the origin Belgian, needed a board to really let his boys off a lease the next Monday. Skolberg played everyone the gentle tongue of bringing him home, one of the musical's most beloved songs. Even small changes were crucial. During a recent interview in his grand home, which Kelt said the musical success have made possible his efforts through bosses or his rehearsal notes. He pointed out that the musical's most famous song had initially opened with "Do you hear the people singing the song of common men?" In rehearsals, Kramer changed the digit to a song of angry men. By the premiere, Kelt recalled everyone involved thought they had something special, so it was a bit of a shock when the critics disagreed. Leon Garnett, one of the British longest-serving theatre critics, was one of those who originally penned it, writing in City Limits magazine that the musical was sentimental old chores. In a recent interview, Gardner said there had been a lot of snobbery around the original set show, given that it was a Royal Shakespeare Company co-production, and many criticized believed that the Rebels outfit shouldn't dabble in West End musicals. Gardner said she stood by her original assessment, but now recognized that Les Misérables had many charms. It does what all great musicals do. It makes you feel, she said, adding, it doesn't make you think so much. In addition to the song catchiness and Belle's emotion, part of the appeal of Les Misérables has been its political undertones, which sons of students trying to overthrow the French government. In recent years, demonstrators in places like Hong Kong, Bajula, and Turkey have shown, do you hear the people sing? Then think a producer who acted in the original Los Angeles production of Les Misérables said he believed that the musical's message of fighting for what you believe in struck a chord with audience. He recalled one night in June 1989 when the cast backstage during intermission watched live TV news coverage of tanks rolling into Tiananmen Square in Beijing as the Chinese government tried to stop student-led anti-government demonstrations. That footage, Fink recalled, seemed to echo the musical story, and soon he was on stage, climbing up barricades with a flag in hand. We ran on feeling like we needed to vent our rage for what was happening to those people in China. Fink recalled, we were singing to empower them. I've never had a more tragic night in a theater, he added. Kyle said the story political overtone were clear to the creative team, but to his mind, the musical success was down more to universality of the character, people struggling against injustice and their own personal obstacles. Deep down, so many members of the audience feel the same sense of fate, of destiny about their own life journey, he said. That is really why Les Misérables has dated 40 years, Keldo said, adding, it's never going to go away, is it? Thanks for listening. Hope you have a good day. 哎呀，读完这篇报道之后，因为我的英签在下个月中旬就会过期了，其实还蛮想去伦敦的剧场，去现场的听一听，看一看，就是当代的艺术家们是如何来演绎《悲惨世界》这部剧。我应该是看过电影。但我知道这部剧它在伦敦剧场一直都是很流行的。我上次没有选择看，因为我嫌它票价有点贵，我忘了是几十磅。好的，说多了，如果你也感兴趣，那也看起来吧，因为我觉得就是确实是如同这部剧它最后的那个编辑所说的。这部剧除了说我们有一些政治上的隐喻之外，就是政治意义它是毫无疑问的，但是 这个作品它的成功其实也是人物命运的一些普世性，那些以不公平抗争、以命运抗争的个体，在内心深处，无数的观众在角色的身上都照见了自己自身命运的一个轨迹。所以说，这其实才是悲惨世界能经久不衰、屹立40年的根本原因，而且它可能也会永葆这种生命力。然后值得一提的话是，Do you hear the people sing？我个人就是说也是非常非常喜欢这首歌的。有时候我确实是在情绪比较低昂的时候，我会去再听一听，而且我也能唱。因为某些原因，这里当然不能展示了，而且我唱的其实也不好，但是这种歌它给你的那种 feelings，就是说去抗争吧，去对抗吧，无论是对抗个体还是对抗内心，你总能看到希望的，就是你会越过那个 barricade，就是然后最终举起你胜利的旗帜。好的，非常感谢你的陪伴。